All right, Isaiah, I'm live. I need some more to drink, son. Just a little bit. How can I? Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with another podcast moment. I am Jay Works, the host of Street Savvy. And we got a great show for you guys tonight. We've been on a week hiatus because we're getting ready for a street of big things happening for the podcast Street Savvy. And we want you folks to always be inclined to what is going on with us here. And definitely just put it to work. You know, we really want you guys to understand what we do here at Street Savvy, especially as far as PD Code, the clothing line, and big events for us. The women's show that's coming out is huge to us. She the Reporter. We're going to be talking music, film, family, generational wealth, generational curse, breaking them, and this being people in general and doing the things that women like to do on this show, which the new show, it's called She the Reporter. So check that out. In a week or so, we got some great guests coming up, and you guys would definitely love that. We really excited. We definitely excited about that, ladies and gentlemen. And we really want you guys to know we appreciate you guys for tuning in to this great podcast, Street Savvy, and keeping us alive and well out there. And on these great podcast moments. So listen, we got a great show for you tonight. Like I said, the topic is, should a government have an opinion on same-sex marriage? So that's the topic for today, folks. And we're gonna get into that in several minutes, but we've got some news of the day. Starting off in sporting news, your Super Bowl is ready, folks. If it was your team or not, your Super Bowl is ready. The teams that they wanted, some say they're not there, and some say they are. When the playoffs started, they had different teams they wanted there. Buffalo Bills, Dallas Cowboys, my Cowboys, they wanted there as well. The Baltimore Ravens, they wanted them, Lamar Jackson to tear it up for the universe. That didn't happen. And the lovely folks in Detroit wanted their Detroit Lions definitely to be there. They lost in a heated battle. They was up almost 17 points, folks. Detroit lost the bad one. Yeah, they wanted Detroit to be there. They also lost they wanted to be. They wanted the Miami Dolphins to be there. Them guys out in Dade County, they wanted their Dolphins to be there. I know my guy Rick Ross, he wanted his beloved team to be there. Sorry, Rose, next time, baby. For those beloved Miami Dolphins down there in Dade County. Yeah. But that didn't happen, folks. The Super Bowl will be on February 11th. Yeah. And set them Santa Clara folks out there for them 49ers. Yeah. San Francisco 49ers out in Santa Clara. And the beloved Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, they will be in a Super Bowl February 11th out in Las Vegas, Nevada, folks. Yeah, Super Bowl is ready. I don't know if you're a betting person or not. Neither one of those are my teams, but I tell you, folks, if you ask me, I want KC to win. I definitely do. I'm being biased, period. Um, in other sporting news, looks like the NBA is shaping up. We have 10 good teams from the Eastern to the Western Conference, starting off with my Boston Celtics, leading the league 36 and 11, Milwaukee Bucks 32 and 14, Philadelphia 76ers 29 and 15, New York Knickerbockers 30 and 17. Good record for the Knicks. And the Cleveland Cavaliers round off the top five in the East is 28 and 16. And then the West, yes, we got the Thunder 32 and 14. The Minnesota Timberwolves are tied with them 32 and 14 as well. And your Denver Nuggets out there in Denver. Denver is 32 and 15. And the LA Clippers 30 and 15 and round off. Sacramento Kings 26 and 20. So there's the top two tens in the NBA, guys. And if your team is up there, great. If it's not, they got to get to working. Because I tell folks all the time, I don't pay attention to the NBA until after All-Star break. And it's coming up, folks. Yes. And if you're in the weather, looking for the great weather, you're going to be looking for another several more weeks because the weather is still going to be in the early 20s in the next week or so on the East Coast. Might warm up some parts of the weekend coming up with the 10-day forecast. Looks like there's going to be some frosty weather, especially in the morning. It's going to be in the zeros, below, negative across the East Coast. So, folks, bundle up when you're going outside and definitely have your hats, gloves, scarf, ear muffs, whatever have you, and long johns on for you children that's out there. Yes. And the news of the week, the YSL trial, day 21 RICO trial. It's been a big break in the trial. They starting up today because it was a big break in there. I guess the judge was sick. And they resumed today talking about a leaked phone call between YSL leader Young Thug and his girlfriend, an intimate phone call, video phone call. Hey, folks, allegedly this is kind of stupid what's going on down there. Bro, this trial and all the testimony, what's going on down there. I think, I think it's been some wrong. This is my opinion, but I think they overlooked it. They overseen their boundaries. The state did with this charge of this young man, Young Thugger, and it's up in the air right now. People are testifying on him. Some folks ain't saying a little bit too much. They in the middle of the testimony today, they're talking about music and lyrics, and it was in between the lawyers and the state prosecutor said, hey, in his lyrics, he's not God-fearing talking in his lyrics. He's talking about he's showboating drugs, murder, and other things of that value. And then the turnaround rebuttal of his lawyer, the defense attorney, said, listen, he's talking about his kids in that. How he had to feed his kids in certain ways, in certain levels. And this is just all stuff he have done in the past, not something he's doing right now. He's a pillar of the community. He's a leader of what's going on out in Atlanta, Georgia. So, folks, if you got a chance, go on YouTube Live and check out this trial, day 22, coming up tomorrow. And that's our news, folks. There's a lot of things going on in America, but I try to stay away from the hoopla, and the dirty laundry. We do this thing on Mondays called Star of the Day. Our star today is Dez Bryant, ex-Dallas Cowboy wide receiver. He was just in a podcast talking about Generational curse. Things you don't tell you, things you tell your kids you should not be doing. Breaking it. Let them know, hey, these are things I didn't do. And things I did you shouldn't do, or of that nature. And he broke down. He says, listen, don't tell your kids to go out there and want something they can't get, especially things you didn't get. Tell them the truth. Tell them they can get it if they work hard. Tell them they can get it if they want it. And they go out there in an honest shape, form, or fashion and get it. And that touched me by this guy saying that, because in hindsight, a lot of us, we got to break those generational curse. For instance, this weekend, a young lady, I known her for every bit about a good 14 years. She tried to really put a blemish on my name. A lot of other sorts. My wife is her daughter's godmother. And sorts of levels. And I just ignored it. I know it ain't true. Definitely ain't true. And a lesson to be learned, folks. If something ain't true, don't even bother. I'm not going out there and getting on Facebook and arguing with some woman or anybody over some bull. My name is my name, and I stand 10 toes on it. I stand on business. And if anybody want to challenge that, do what you do. I'm not going to argue with you. I know me. God know me. And I'm an honest man. I'm a gentleman. I don't harm nobody. I never did. I never took nothing from nobody. I never will. I never want anybody who's not of my caliber or my nature, things of that. I done did a lot of things in my life, but one thing I'm not is a monster of any sorts. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a child molester. I'm not any sorts. I'm not a drug dealer. None of those sorts. I'm not the devil. I'm not the enemy. I'm God's fearing child. I don't care what anybody say about that. And I'm not going to argue with the devil. The devil's a lie. And the devil conversed on liquor, drugs, human nature, just doing negative stuff. People just want you to be misery like them. People hate you because of the color of your skin. All sorts of things. People want your job. People want your atmosphere. People hate that you smile. People hate that you say who you are. I tell people every day, I'm a Leo. They hate because I say that. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate it. God bless you, baby. And things like that of that nature. I done did a lot of things in my life that I ask God for forgiveness every day. And I'm not gonna look back on that. I'm not gonna beat myself up. It's a lot of things I'm not proud of in my life that I have done, or I have seen, or tried to help, or try to hurt someone back when I was younger, or things I didn't know no better for. But one thing I'm not going to do is shun on somebody, look down upon somebody, because I'm no better than anybody in this world. I'm no better. I'm just me, and I do it different. I'm a human being. I bleed like you. I put my pants on like you. And I look just like half of you guys in my neighborhood and in my community. And I speak highly of my people, young, old, and indifferent. The young folk love me. I'm the neighborhood uncle in Syracuse, New York, Boston, Mass, Chicago, Detroit, Flint, Michigan, Florida, Central Florida, Jacksonville, Miami, Texas, Alabama, downstate New York. I'm the town mayor. And again, yes, I may have said things or done things when I was younger, but never harmed nobody, never been a monster anybody. And you can say anything you want about me, ladies and gentlemen. Anything in the world, I'm not going out there to defend you. I'm not going to defend the devil. I'm not going to fight the devil. I'm not going to go out there and do the devil's work by talking back stuff to him. I'm not going to go out there and injure and hurt nobody. But let me tell you folks something. Sometimes we got to understand society. When people have done changed their lives, moved on and doing something better, talk better, sleep better, work better, don't think that makes them a punk or a pussy or a sucker. That makes them know much better than they did before. But don't go poking the bear. Don't go poking the bear. Don't do it. Because sometimes you may poke the wrong bear, or you may make that old school come back. You understand? And for those who don't know me, check my resume. I'm Jay Works. And yes, I'm from the projects. That'll make me no good and better from you, but don't play with me. Watch your mouth. Put some respect on a general. Put some respect on a man. Put some respect on somebody's father and grandfather. Someone's uncle, someone's cousin, someone's dog, someone's guy, someone's husband. Put some respect when you talk about this name, because the devil's in your mouth. I'm not in your mouth. If I was in your mouth, you wouldn't be talking. Better ask somebody that. But anyways, the devil works just like God works, folks. God, listen, devil works 24/7. Devil was one of God's disciples. He took a stray. He wanted the frackanaka in the fire. God wanted the angels and the believers. God was on that cross for a reason. The devil didn't want no cross. He wanted all the smoke. Remember that, folks. Remember that. I'm God's fearing, baby. God bled for me. You should let it work for you. Anywho, and I'm going to say something to somebody. I'm going to do a double take on a star today. Her name is Jessica Williams. Let me throw this out there. I don't know if she's watching this podcast. I don't know if somebody told her about it. But Jessica Coffee Williams is a friend of mine for a long, long time. Wow. I ran into a family member of hers recently, and they said she was back in the United States. And I told them, I said, I heard, I know. I had a phone call. I seen it too. Jessica Williams was a spirit to me that God brought to me a long time ago. Brought me some guidance in my career and where I was trying to go in my life. As a young man in his early 30s, this young girl was full of fire, full of atmosphere, full of belief in the music and in God, her and her family, and brought me more closer to God than I had lost of a vision home in Boston. But coming back here to New York, Coffee was a person who was some guidance to me, a person of interest, a young lady who showed me pain and glory when it comes to music and as a person. She came from a great family, her mother and father, God-fearing people. And it was no perfect for me or your family, but they was a family. She was a twin. She is a twin, and she had a brother and other sisters and brothers that her mother raised from the neighborhood and cousins. And this girl was fire to me when it comes down to writing music, appeared to what music is, a genre to what the word of music, from the church, from people who's making beats, from Hawaiian guitars to bass to drum. We had all of that in our cipher and writing hit music, good music. These artists of today couldn't hold Jessica Williams' coattail 20 years ago. We was doing devil taking on music back then in Mason Studios and Real Studios and Red Brick Studios and Hole in the Walls, even at K. Yuga Community College. Yes, yes. We was doing real music, man. We was doing real beat. We was producing our own music. She was a hit maker of way before her time. We wrote hit songs. I still got them in archives. I have this girl Motion. When I talk about, I get this feeling of, wow, what you ladies doing today? You know what you artists is singing about that Jessica Williams didn't do a long time ago. And sort of comes, excuse me, what comes to mind is the artist Her. That's Coffee. This woman, we wrote a song called No Game. And it was a hit all over New York State. And just to relive it right now, talking is bringing chills to me because I seen this girl write, doing schoolwork, working at Walmart, writing in the bathroom, writing, not want to be bothered by me or whatever, writing on the couch. This girl will write a hit song. And I told her, only two people I know in my life write like that was Donnie Quiggs, GQ, aka my brother Jermaine Works, and Jessica Coffee Williams. Two artists that was just too much for their time. And I wanted to give star today to Coffee, Jessica Williams. And if you're out there, I salute you. Your music is still upon me today. And I think a lot of young folks, if you can write to them and talk to them about the genre of music that you wrote back then, and you probably still got it, my door is open. I have a platform for you. So that's my star today, you folks. Jessica Coffee Williams, I love you, girl, always will. You and your family in great endeavors. Okay, folks, those are my stars of the day, which is Monday. And let's get into our leading topic. Topic of the day. Should the government be involved in same-sex marriage? Come on, live. Let me see you. Let's talk about it. Should the government be allowed to intervene in same-sex marriage? Thank you. Appreciate you too, Jessica. I think, and this is just my opinion, I'm just me. I'm just a podcast. I'm just a father, a husband, best friend. I'm a gentleman. No, I don't think the government should intervene in any marriage. Unless it's a divorce, and the divorce belongs in the house of the Lord. Just like you got married in the house of the Lord, divorce belongs in the house of the Lord. If you want representation, that should be, but never the government involved. It's a messy avenue. Excuse me. It's a messy avenue when the government gets involved in a marriage of two people who loves each other, it's the same sex or opposite sex, or who has a quarrel, who has a difference, or who has grown away or apart from each other. I don't think a government should have a part in that. You're right. Church and state should not be mixed. You're right. That's the truth, Jessica. Always some kind words. You was always smart. But you're right, definitely. Church and government should be in the same sentence. No longer is in the same conversation. But what you can do on that, and I'm gonna put a spill on that, and because that's kind of touchy. That's when you should start voting for your local leaders, men and women, assembly men and assembly women, your legislators. city council, on the government levels. I'm in Albany tomorrow. You know, I'm a lobbyist, so I'm in Albany, and I'm with a lot of assemblywomen and assemblymen tomorrow on a bill. And you should do the same, folks. Vote for your local and get those type of bills that you like. That's about your home, because anything in Washington ain't about you. It don't dictate your home. Anything in DC don't dictate you, but on the city and state level does. It does. And that's when you should be more steadfast and pro example of going out and drafting these bills that, or counteracting to these certain bills that you don't like or do like, or proposing to them that, hey, this is what we don't want and this is what we do want. Because when you don't vote on the city and state votes, opinions, this is where you lose out on same-sex marriage. Yes. Or opportunity to live in a certain neighborhood, or certain things that happen in your neighborhood you don't want. Or you want to, if you don't want a store or a smoke shop or a liquor store in the corner of your neighborhood, you can vote that out. City council. But when you don't go to those measures and go to these town hall meetings or vote things in you need to be vote, or draft up a vote, it gets passed. It gets passed over your head. And so when we have these type of agendas up, should government stick their nose in same-sex marriage? Should government runs healthcare? You know? Should the taxes be 25% more or less? When you don't steadfast on a vote, or get one of your city or state leaders to co-sponsor or sponsor a vote that you draft, you got no opinion on that. You got no hope. And remember today, if you in my age bracket, in your 50s, 60s, or mid 40s or 30s, it's about generational wealth, folks. And that's for your kids' kids. I'm going to tell you a story that we all see. When you see a pro athlete, especially black men and women, go to NBA, WNBA, or NFL, or MLB, which is less black players than MLB, Major League Baseball, we hear them when they get drafted, what they say. What's the first thing they say when they get drafted? Or when one of us hit the lottery, or when one of us get a loss settlement. What do we say, folks? Come on. Hit me up. What do we say? You know what we say? I want to buy my mother and father a house. I want to buy my mother that house. I want to buy my parents that car. And I think that's generational. That's, matter of fact, that's cultural for black and brown community. But let me tell you something. If you watch a white player on those same sports, MLB, NBA, NHL, NBA, you know what they say? You know what they say? I'm going back to school. I'm going to have this for my grandkids. I'm going to build the business legacy. Yeah, look it up. We need to turn that generational gap into generational wealth, folks. Black and brown community, period. We talk about voting. We talk about this. And the worst thing to me, folks, to me in this world is black on black crime. I don't care if it's heinous. I don't care if it's whatever. Black on black crime is the worst thing in the world to me today. And yes, we have a conversation, but we don't go out there and protest. We don't go out there and fight for it. We don't go in that neighborhood block and try to stop the crime. We don't call the folks. We don't call the boys. We steadfast and mind our business. We don't stop little Pee-wee, little Nuck-Nuck, little Jamal, when we see him with something in his coat. When we watch him run across the street, we don't say, hey, can we talk to you? We close the door. We see a kid in the street tripping out. We see a kid out there with a gun, arguing with something in his pocket. We don't say nothing. Or we see a kid with a cup of lean or a bottle or something. We don't say nothing. We go leave him alone. He just tripping. Yeah, that's us black folk. That's called cultural ignorancy. Yeah. How can we talk about the immigrants? And we know that's dead wrong. We know they're trying to replace the vote. We know what they're doing. We know we're doing that. We know the government doing that. But we ain't doing no more better, black and brown. We killing each other. We snaking each other. And in the industry, we glorifying drugs and murder in our music. And it's hit songs. Because the people who's liking it, who's the big representatives of the music, the CEOs, are the same ones who's building the jails. Yeah, they doubling down on the millions they're giving you. They give you $2 million, they're making $100 million. Oh yeah. Look it up, folks. Let's do your history. Black and brown, we have to wake up. I don't care if it's same-sex marriage. I don't care if it's opposite marriage. But if you're going to support something, support you. God bless you, Jess. You know, how I'm going to support anybody who I call niece and nephew, brothers, sisters, mother, fathers, or uncle, if I don't help them support each other or they don't support me. Just 2 weeks ago, hey, 2 weeks ago, I put out there, some of you folks know, I got a brand that's called PDCO. And I got Leo seasons, I'm a Leo. And I got another brand that I do put a lot of profanity on it, on a lot of certain things. And I say, my biggest supporters, hey, you, Miss Lee, how you doing? I was just talking about you. And Jessica's on as well. Amy, if you remember Jessica Williams from Walmart, she's on as well. She a watcher. I just seen the guy from the back room, you guys, Jessica and Amy. I forget his name. He was very cool. Oh my God. Jessica, I know you know this guy. He loved all your music. I just seen him yesterday. And I told him I seen you guys recently and spoke to you guys. But anyways, this is my clothing line, PDCO. And Amy, I got your sweatsuit. PDCO. And I said, you know, my folks don't support me. My family members. What other people do. That's the problem. You see us, we see each other doing something that's special, that's influential to the neighborhood and our community and culture, and we don't support it. We want to borrow. You want a handout. Let me rock that. That look good with my J's. You go and buy Michael Jordan, but you want to borrow something from me. Or you want me to give you something for free. You go and buy Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, and Louis, but you want me to give you a $120 outfit. Or then you tell me it's too much. But Mike costs $150 for real. $130 max. A Nike Tech suit, it's got to be $180. So folks, again, if we don't want the government dipping their nose in, especially the black and brown community, do something about it. That's the moral to that story. Folks, I'm going to end this segment saying, hey guys, go out there and make a vision. Go out there and make a living. Go out there and make hope a believable transformation of generational wealth. God bless America. We got 3 more shows tonight. Hope you guys be tuning into the live and the YouTube TV. Hey, this is Jay Works, and this is the podcast Street Savvy. We got more for you tonight, folks. God bless.